Okay, everybody. Hi there. It is.
Hey.
We need a new name for the four of us, you guys. What? The Mod Squad. The Mod with what's in
In the
the
bag.
bag. And so we want you guys to comment. Hey, Betty, one of my consultants from Illinois. It's good to see everybody. We're going to have a lot of fun. So I hope a lot of people will watch tonight because we are doing our 70s inspired looks. And as y'all know, we have a makeover contest going on, and you can enter in if you're a customer. You can pick whatever decade inspires you. Thank you, Maureen. 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, either like back then, now, or your always look. And then you just post it, and we'll tell you how to do that right there on contest.marykay.com. And you can be entered to win $1,500 and a big old pile of Mary Kay. So last week we did the 60s, and we looked pretty cute, I have to admit. So this week we went to a 70s look. So we're just going to go around and tell what we have on, and then we're going to share a little bit of what was going on in the 70s in Mary Kay. Okay. So for me, I thought, first of all, I had one idea, and then I changed my mind. I had this look, and it said, what were the trends in the 70s? And so it said there were four things. And it said, this is just one. Like when you look it up, you get a lot of different answers. So one of them said a ton of bronzer. Like the 70s was the decade of bronzer, over applied, on the cheeks, golden goddess look was in. So what I did to get this look, y'all may remember, we had this bronzer, and it was called Gilded Glow. And I don't think we do it anymore. So I did the Gilded Glow all over. Then I did some of the Mary Kay Latte Contour on that as well. And then it said, number 2 trend was lower lashes. And it said the trend that started in the 60s kept going. Lower lashes were often more defined than the upper lashes, which isn't that funny, because like today you'll see upper and some people don't wear anything on the bottom. Right. Which is funny, And so lower lashes. And then it said number 3 is amber lips. That the 70s loves of bronze didn't end with cheeks. Orange hued lipstick was the new natural. Okay. And so for my lips, I used our bronzer duo sticks and the highlighter sticks. And I just put some on, then I put some more on top of it. And then for eyes, it said the number 4 was pastel eyeshadow, which I did not do that one. I did more like a different one. But anyway, I just did some of this. I did my eyes, and then I went and put a bunch of other mess on top of it. So I ended up doing like crystalline, and then I did some starry. I was trying to get a light blue, but it didn't really make it like the real blue that we wore, But then I put some of this highlighter in the pearl on it as well. And so my lips are the same. So that was my little 70s look. And of course, I really attempted to get my Farrah faucet going. And it's the best I could do. Had I not cut my hair, I really could have rocked the Farrah look a little bit better. So this is my 70s look for tonight. And so I am going to pass it on to Gina to do hers next.
I'm in agreement. I was looking, everything was bronzer. So I've got bronzer on everything. I've got bronzer for my lips. And I did the Honey Glow, the sticks that you have. I didn't bring it in here with me, but I did the Honey Glow on my lips. Yes, that's what I've got on my lips. I have it on my cheeks. I contoured my jaw. I even used it, the definition in my brows as well. I worked on my lashes and my bottom lashes, especially like the trend. And then I used Shy Blush all over my lids because that was the big thing, was those big, bold eyes.
Yeah. And it looks good on you.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. All right, Sayla, you want to go next?
Okay. So part of the 70s was disco began. And Donna Summers was all the rage. She actually started some of the trends for the disco era, the eyeshadow. It said that people wore, to go to the disco, not out and about like these ladies, but bright colors on the lid, just usually one color, and that sparkled, which I used our Warm Hues palette, this purple right here. And then I put this sparkly powder on top of it. And it said that the brows sort of emulated what started in the 60s, which was in the 60s, it was a real fine brow. It got a little thicker in the 70s, so I tried to do my brow that way. They wore very light underneath the eyes still, and then light cheek color. And when they were going to the disco, they would wear bright lipstick, sort of in the berries or the crimson. This is our berry lip liner with appleberry lipstick and a berry lip gloss on top. So that was the trend for the disco, and I love me some music and dancing. So I decided to do a disco look tonight.
You look good, Zayla.
You look great.
So good. So good. Okay, Maureen, Flower Child.
Yes. So I was getting my Stevie Nicks on tonight. I love Stevie Nicks. She was from the 70s. And as I was looking around to see what was trendy and whatnot, it was all about the eyes. And like you were talking about those bottom lashes, I was even seeing some pictures and I attempted it. And then I thought, no, probably not a good idea. They were actually even putting the mascara on, right? Putting the mascara on the bottom. And I got it on as much as I could. And then they were drawing more on to give it some fullness. And it looked great. But I'm like, no, not tonight. So anyway, on my eyes, I went ahead with the Pink Starlight, the liquid eyeshadow. And I loved the way it looked. And then I grabbed the same palette as Selah because I kept seeing those oranges coming through on all the pictures that I was seeing. So I used the matte eyeshadow from that fall palette. And then I grabbed out our handy dandy black gel eyeliner to go with this.
That we love so much.
Right? Holy cow. So, I mean, I got it all up right in here in the corner and I pulled it all the way out. It is staying like wonderful. Mm-hmm. And then do you guys remember when we had that one silver eyeliner a couple years ago? Yeah. So I went ahead and grabbed that to give me some lighter right on top, right in the corner.
Oh yeah, girl.
Just to kind of, give it a little brightness right there. And then I put on just a shimmer lipstick because, they used to do that frosty number in the 70s. And then like I did the bronzer, the gilded bronzer. I still have that too. Bronzer on this little Casper girl. So anyways, and I got my braids. And I got my smiley face and I'm all 70s.
You look so good. Y'all look so good. I just feel so bronze like I just got from the beach. So anyway, so you guys, this is a really fun contest. So I wish they'd let consultants enter because we would have a picture every week that we would enter. I don't know how many times you can enter, probably only one time. But if you're a customer, you got to enter. It's fun. You can take the Mary Kay products you already have and do some kind of look. And it doesn't have to be retro. It can be right now because it's then, now, always. We're just going through the decades, okay? So next week we'll be doing the 80s. So what we want to do is I actually have a little PowerPoint because my girlfriends know that I am the resident nerd. They count on me for it. So I should have started this last week, but I can't. I thought of it today. I thought, we should have done this. So this is a little Mary Kay through the decades, and of course, this is a picture of Mary Kay and a 1969 car, and it's the pink Cadillac that she loves. And those of you who didn't know, Mary Kay was a dog person. She loved this. She called it her fur baby. Like, I don't remember the name of her dog. Y'all, we should know, right? Was it Gingy? Did she name one of her perfumes after it? I think it's Gingy. It was her dog. Anyway, so I thought that was such a cute picture of her. So this is the contest that Maureen had the thing up about. And so it's, then, now, always. And you just have to write a little 1 or 2 words that say something like, let's say it was this look tonight. And I might say, I love the 70s because I know I love that frosty lipstick. And I even wear it today. Frost makes my teeth look white or something stupid. I mean, it don't have to be stupid. It can be a lot better than that. But I'm saying it can be that simple. Okay. Don't make it complicated. So I thought it might be fun to show you. These were some of the colors in the 70s that Mary Kay had. And really we had, the The cheek color was just red rouge. That's all you needed. And you mixed it with your foundations, yellow or white. And then they had these lip colors. This one was a white frosty, and then another white one. And then these eyeshadows, there was a couple of blues and a white. And then back here, you'll see a white, a gray, and a purple. And so that's it. That's what we had. And then it's actually just repeated on there. That was our eye palettes. We used them with water. And the lipstick, for sure, we did not put them on with a lipstick. We used a brush. Thank you very much. Because a lipstick would stretch your lips out. So we always used a brush. Excuse me, back in the day. Okay. Some of the fashions in the 70s, as you can see, they varied. They went back and forth for what you were doing that day. You know, if you were doing, you know, like Sayla said, the disco, going to church, or doing something, you know, out and about. And of course, it varied on how old you were of what you were wearing, right? I think about Marlo Thomas, that girl, you know, I was thinking about some of those. These were some of the other ones that you see. And I had to put this one because check it. Yes, ma'am. Cheetah was still in style in the 70s. And then, of course, you see the hats for the dresses, and some of these long dresses were really in. Maxis were in. And then, of course, everybody knows the famous Charlie's Angels, right? Mm-hmm. Those were the three most beautiful women on TV, right? I mean, we loved us some Charlie's Angels. And, of course, bell bottoms were super in at the time. But, and this was a little slide that I saw that went all the way through from the 70s, like it went to all the way to 79. Is that not the cool? Just different outfits that people wore. And I thought that is so awesome. But why take it from them when you can look at me? So right here you'll see 1970. Yes, I was 8 years old. And so you will see a nice pink dress, which was very in the 70s. And in 71, you want to have your cat eye glasses because that was so in. Now they call them retro, but at the time it was the most stylish glasses that you get. And note the flowers. Then as we got a little older, you want to go into some stripes. And if you could only see the red, white, and blue stars stripe pants that I wore with a little flare on the bottom when I was 10, learning to, I guess I got a new bike or something. And so then, of course, the ruffles here, you know, that was awesome. And then, you know, 1974, you can't really see it from this picture, but I had a different pair of glasses that we went a little more octagon with our tortoise shell on our glasses. And then, of course, by 1975, I have got to get some gold wire rims because that was so the style, right? Mm-hmm. So the style. And then moving on up, we had to part our hair straight down the middle because that is what everybody was doing and wearing it long. Even if you didn't look necessarily so great, that's what we did. But by the time I got to 10th grade, I thought you might want to cover up that big forehead. And so we whipped it over to the side and did the best that we could on our hair. But as a junior, it was back to the middle with some, as you see, floral print was very in at the time. And then you have your 1979, 1980 senior picture. I graduated in 80, but I think this picture was from 79 possibly. You know, very demure, just, you know, so ready for college, right? And then this is the normal picture of a 1970s girlfriend crowd. And there I am right here. Of course, I have a big X over my shirt because how else would my grandmother know that that was me when I gave her that picture of me? Without looking at it when they read X.
Oh my. That's perfect.
So, Mary Kay. So this is Helen McVoy. She was the very first national sales director, and she came about in the 70s, as a matter of fact. And of course, this is a picture of Mary Kay Ash in her office. This is on the right is the Mary Kay headquarters from 1977, and it was on Stemmons Freeway. It was a solid gold building on the outside, and it's really, really cool. And they kept that building till 1995, and this is what it looks like today on the left. It is a massive 13-story building. They even named the road Mary Kay Way, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of jump back to 1963, just because we didn't do it last week. That is when Mary Kay actually started, hence our 60th year. Okay. As she started, she launched her business with the purpose of empowering women. And then through the 60s, you can see some things happening. And I need to pull it up a little bit better so I can read it. I know y'all can't read that, but you can see the pictures. So the first picture just shows a picture of the storefront. Mary Kay actually opened in a store instead of direct selling. Did y'all know that? They were selling wigs and they were selling Mary Kay products. And it says Mary Kay launched her big dream in a small office space in Exchange Park on Friday, September the 13th in 1963 with used furniture, homemade drapes, and a single metal shelf from Sears. The Dallas headquarters of Beauty by Mary Kay opened its doors for business as it opened the doors for opportunity for women today. And they sold wigs at the same time. And then it showed in 1963, you can see the picture of the starter kit. It was a blue starter kit, okay? And it included 4 skincare products and a foundation. The first glamour products included a pink palette with 5 eye colors and 5 lip colors, blush, mascara, and an eyebrow and an eyeliner pencil. That was our whole line right there. In 1964, it says, thinking pink. In the 60s, most American bathrooms were white, so pink was chosen for the company packaging to give women beauty products they could keep conveniently on their bathroom counters. And which is odd, I did not realize, if you look at the 63, you may not can tell, those weren't pink yet. They were like white with a pink label and some silver tops. But anyway, there you go. 64, it said a tradition began, and that is when seminars started. And they put it together, and now like we go every year, we're going in August. So it's so exciting. It's so exciting for seminar in Dallas every year. And this year is going to be especially exciting. So in 1967, they had something, it says dreams come true, beautiful jewelry, fantastic vacations, elegant cars. In 1966, the company introduced Cinderella gifts, luxury rewards women could love to have but would never buy for themselves. And it began with this. It was called the Golden Goblet Award. And it's with women, from what I heard, is that women that ordered $1,000 in a month got a golden goblet. And then they said they got it where people had so many golden goblets, they had to have a storage room to put them. And they finally started selling them back to the company. And so anyway, but I wanted you to know that in 1969 is when the pink Cadillac came out. It said, make it pink. Mary Kay didn't know then, but when she requested pink as the cover of her car, her new Cadillac, she started something big. And in 1969, the top 5 directors earned the use of a 1970 pink Cadillac Coupe de Ville. And to date, more than 100,000 Salesforce members have qualified for the privilege of driving a Mary Kay career car. So then it takes us to the 70s. So I just wanted to catch us up because I didn't do it last week. So we're just going to do the 70s, and next week we'll do the 80s. So 1970s, some things happened. It says economic recession helped shift people's focus from social change to personal growth. A lot of self-help books, new aspirations were changing for roles for women at the time. And then in 1970, of all the rewards that you could win, the Diamond Bumblebee pen is the most cherished. And it said the first pens were awarded at the 1970 seminar. With them, Mary Kay told the story of the amazing Bumblebee, which you guys have probably heard. But it says after studying it aerodynamically, engineers concluded that it should not be able to fly. Yet despite the odds, this incredible creature flew. This can-do story made the Bumblebee the perfect symbol for women who follow their can-do spirits to achieve new heights. And so we earned that Bumblebee for Queens and also being in the court of sharing our Mary Kay opportunity, which is really awesome. And then in 1971, that picture that I showed you, Mary Kay grew with the very first national sales director position, and that was Helen McVoy and Daleen White. They were the first 2 Mary Kay nationals. Then in 1971, Mary Kay went global, and I asked my husband today, I said, honey, where do you think the first country Mary Kay broke into? Because now we have over 35 markets. And he goes, I don't know. He goes, Brazil? I don't know. I said, Australia. And so a lot of people may have thought Canada or something else, but it was Australia was the very first one. So then in 1974, I got to get to break see a little bit better. Hang on. In 1974, it was the very first leadership conference, which is a conference we still do today for sales directors. And we used to call it management conference, and then they changed it to call it leadership conference. I don't know if any of y'all remember that. But anyway, then in 1976, and they usually do that in January, in 1976, it says the Star Consultant Program was introduced, which we have today, where you can win prizes every quarter. And so it said that year, I thought this was really interesting. The Star Consultants all wore the bright yellow Golden Girl suit. Because wouldn't you want to have a bright yellow skirt and jacket and yellow shoes for your seminar to show that you were a star? And they wore it with pride. And it also had the ladder of success pin. In 1978, Norman Vincent Peale presented Mary Kay Ash the prestigious Horatio Alger Award. This award is given to distinguished Americans who have succeeded in spite of adversity. And so that was in 1978. And then we ended up that decade with something really, really big that made Mary Kay, even though we had already been in business for several years, like a wow. And it says America Took Note with 60 Minutes interviewed Mary Kay Ash in 1979. The nation was taken by the remarkable woman and her visionary business opportunity. Within 2 years, the Mary Kay independent sales force had more than doubled and sales almost tripled. Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
So a lot happened in the 70s in Mary Kay. And so this was just a little where you can kind of see a little bit more of it right here. And I wanted to tell you one quick great fact. It says in 1963, it talks about where they opened, but it says Mary Kay opened her doors with the help of her 20-year-old son, Richard Rogers. Okay. So you guys, Richard Rogers. Okay. Yeah. So 60 years later, Richard Rogers' son, okay, his name is Ryan Rogers. He is now the president of I'm going to say the United States of America.
Yes, go Ryan. Yes.
He is the president of Mary Kay as of January 2023. And so isn't that amazing that the 20-year-old Richard Rogers would have a son 60 years later, he would be the president. And so we are so thrilled that Mary Kay's own grandson is the now reigning president of our company. She started this whole company with only $5,000, you guys. And so I just wanted to mention some of those things to you guys. I will say that in 1976, Mary Kay was listed on the New York Stock Exchange. And you'll see in the 80s where Mary Kay bought it back from the New York Stock Exchange because some of the people thought that they were paying us too much. And they said, we didn't need all those cars and all those prizes. And she's like, let's just buy that back from them. And so that's what she did. So I wanted to share that with you today. It said, I wanted to tell you that by 1977, the company had 150,000 sales consultants and 50 million in sales. And so it says from 73 to 83, the stock rose by 670%. So that's a little Mary Kay facts that I wanted to just share with everybody today through the ages. And you'll hear more next week on what happened with Mary Kay in the 80s. But I thought that was so interesting. And even though I was not in Mary Kay then, guess what? My grandmother sold in the 60s and the 70s. And so I knew about Mary Kay in the 70s for sure because my mother used it. And I would go in her bathroom and see all of her Mary Kay products. So little did she know that as a teenager and a preteen, me looking at all her stuff, that one day I would be a sales director in that company. Isn't that something? Mm-hmm. So I think it's fun to look back at where we've came from in Mary Kay and what it's done for each of us. So why don't each of us just tell how long we've been in the company, and we'll just kind of end with that. And one thing we like about being in the company, and I'll just say for me, this is I've been in Mary Kay 37 years, and so I joined in 1985. And Brad came in today and he said something about, we were saying a prayer for dinner. And I said, I always pray for Brad at the city of Valdosta. I said, I just pray for him to, do a good job there. And, I just pray for him in his business. And when we got done, he goes, yeah, and that you'll like your job. I said, yeah, that's one thing you don't have to worry about. I said, I love my job. I said, it would be a crying shame if I'd been in a company 37 years and dreaded working for what I do. That would be such a shame, you know? And so I love that I get up to every single day, and it's fun. This is fun to me, what we're doing tonight. And it's fun delivering to my customers, and it's fun going to lunch with my consultants, and just the whole sisterhood of Mary Kay. So, Sayla, you want to go next?
Hey, everybody. My name is Sayla, and I have been in the company 27 years. So 10 years, Cleta's been in 10 years longer than me, but we have been running buddies since the moment I came into Mary Kay. And the thing I love most about Mary Kay, well, there are so many things. And so it's kind of a trick question to ask for only one. But what I really love is the flexibility that the business has given me over the years. I was married and then was a single mom for a while. And, you know, it just allowed me to work and take care of my family and really earn as much money as we needed. So it has been a great, great journey for me.
I love it. Thank you, Sayla. All right, Maureen, we'll do you next.
All right. Well, I've been with the company 26 years right now, 27 in September, and I've been a sales director for almost 2 years. So that's great. I love it. One of the things, there's so many, but one thing that I love that really is right now in front of me is the personal growth. I love the personal growth that just comes along with being in Mary Kay. And I truly believe that every woman on the planet needs to be in Mary Kay for 1 year, because when they come into Mary Kay, you get orientation, you get some training, you get the things, you know, and I really have a hard time believing that if you're around a bunch of Mary Kay ladies, that only great things are going to percolate inside of you. And sometimes we see things that we want to carve off, and maybe we wouldn't have seen it if we weren't around other women who are running their own track, but we're all going the same way. So I just love the personal growth. Right now, I get to be in a director's Bible study on Wednesdays, and there's something about being with other like-minded people who are doing the same job. And I just think it's such a blessing. So that's my thing right now, is personal growth.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Miss Gina.
My name is Gina Wood, and I have been in, it'll be 2 years, July the 1st. I have been a sales director since February 1st, and absolutely personal growth. I piggyback that 100% out of all the things, and there are many things, but the personal growth is like none other. You cannot go anywhere without going with somebody in this business, and that is what we all need, is to go together. I'm thankful for these ladies that I found on YouTube, y'all. I mean, we get to work together and build relationships and make great money and have a big time. This is personal growth like none other, just like Maureen just said. I couldn't agree more.
So you guys, we'll just wrap it up to say we would like to invite you to be a customer. If you're not already a customer, we're going to just give a blanket 10% off any order that goes in tonight. So if you call your consultant and she's participating with us, 10% off your order tonight. So you just got to text your consultant. We'll just give you 24 hours from like now until tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and just say, I watched the 70's, what's in the bag? I want my 10% discount. Okay. But we also would invite you to have a makeover with us and get in on the contest, because when you enter, we enter. And we can just use the look cards. That's right. And then the last thing is if you might want to join us to be a Mary Kay beauty consultant, this would be a really fun time to do it on the 60th year of the company, because then you'll never forget, you know. So it's only $30 to join with an eStart, which is the digital tools and the website, or it's just $130 to get the big kit, which is over $400 worth of products and materials. I would recommend that unless you have been in Mary Kay before and already have some things. But we all have big goals, the four of us, between now and the end of the seminar year so that we can shine at the Mary Kay 60th seminar. And we just thank y'all for watching. I know we have a lot of consultants that are watching. Maybe you got a little tidbit that you could use, and you're more than welcome to grab this video off YouTube and share it on your customer groups. Okay, so if you're watching this, you obviously need to talk to your own Mary Kay beauty consultant to make the purchase. Okay, so thank y'all for watching tonight. Thank you, Gina, Salem, Maureen, you did a great job. And next week, I'm super excited because, the 80s, I went from 18 to 28. And so did Salem. and then these other girls, they creeped into that. They're a little bit younger. But we actually wore makeup during the 80s, During the 70s, Salem and I both talked about, I said, girl, I just wore frosted lipstick and some mascara. I tried to cover up my bumps with concealer and some foundation. That's about it, But we did join, and I joined in the 80s too. So this is going to be fun next week, and we will see y'all then. Have a good night, everybody, and thanks for joining.
Good night.